Welcome to Kayfabe Only Brother, the internet's premier wrestling audio show.
Welcome to a very special episode of Kayfabe Only Brother. This episode will revolve solely on the Brock Lesnar Goldberg match. Paulie, take it away.
So, unfortunately, I watched the Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match from WrestleMania 20.
I did too. We all, just a little backstory for our listeners, we all rewatched that terrible, awful match today so we could explain it to you guys as a lead-in to our preview of the upcoming Goldberg-Lesnar match.
Well, how did you watch this thing, Grizz? Because I watched it alone on like a Saturday night because I had to work early in the morning and couldn't have been more depressed watching it.
Are you talking about when I rewatched it today, or the first time I ever
it really made me angry rewatching it?
Oh yeah, I watched it this afternoon by myself. I started as soon as the match previous ended, so I caught the whole promo. So I remembered what was going on in the storyline.
To be honest with you, when I was watching that back, I didn't remember Stone Cold being that involved. The match really should have been Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. Stone Cold did everything to that match. The reason it wasn't Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold at WrestleMania is because Stone Cold couldn't wrestle. This is right when that started happening. So
was this right after he was unable to start wrestling? Because he got real physical with Lesnar on the SmackDown before WrestleMania, I guess?
Yeah, it is right after, because if he was able to wrestle, he would have definitely had a match with Lesnar, and he would have definitely had a match with Goldberg.
I mean, they wouldn't have had enough time for all that because Goldberg and Lesnar were both leaving the company.
Oh, I understand, which is why this match was so awful. Can I just ask, if the company knew that they were both leaving, and it was open, I understand this. The fans finding information out about like that was kind of starting to be a little newer of a thing. Since before the internet, it was hard for everyone to know that. But these were both open people who were leaving the company. Why would you have them wrestle each other? Why not have them each wrestle a babyface?
I'm pretty sure, and I wasn't watching.
Back up the babyface.
Goldberg was a babyface, but I wasn't.
Not a babyface when he's leaving the company.
I wasn't watching wrestling a whole lot at the time, but I did. I did end up going, and I remember going to the show, and it was kind of like a newer thing that Lesnar was going to be leaving. Like, I guess they already started the storyline before they knew he was going to be going.
I guess that's true.
Because I remember that was what people around us were talking about, because I didn't know a whole lot about what was going on at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't really watching. This was a time in my life, I guess I was probably in 7th or 8th grade at this point in my life, and there was no DVR and, football and all that other crap, wrestling. I just didn't have time to watch wrestling all the time, and I guess I fell off at this point because I don't remember watching this feud live.
CJ, did you ever see this match?
No.
Good. You're a better person.
Can I ask you guys questions? As somebody who hasn't seen it, I want your take on it. I'm never going to watch it as long as you guys do a good job describing it to me. So I have a series of questions. And I will direct them to each of you. PK.
Go for it.
Going into the match, who were the faces and heels, and who was the favorite?
Of that match? I'm
Yes.
pretty sure Goldberg was a favorite, and he was the face.
Goldberg was definitely the face.
The thing, it started, I don't know what, I guess it started at the Royal Rumble, and then Goldberg helped Eddie Guerrero beat Lesnar for the title.
It was a long build up.
It was from a Royal Rumble to WrestleMania build up, yeah.
Okay. And Grizz, the winner was?
The winner was Goldberg.
Goldberg won.
Goldberg.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Goldberg
it was.
So, since you've never watched it, this match starts, and it's like a blood feud between these guys. And they're supposed to really, hate each other. Yeah. And the match starts, and they stare at each other for 5 minutes, and neither one of them does anything, and they keep walking around the ring.
While the match, as soon as they get out there, the entire Madison Square Garden is booing the shit out of them.
Well, more so booing the shit out of Lesnar.
So
they were booing both of them.
Wait.
They're booing both of them. Even when Goldberg
guys.
was drinking beer with Stone Cold after the match, the crowd was still booing Goldberg to the point where Stone Cold had to stun Goldberg.
So, guys, the crowd hated
They had
both,
no reaction from the crowd.
Both people involved?
They went more. It felt like they went more after Lesnar because he was leaving for football. Because they started, they started the "You Sold Out" chants and all that stuff. That wasn't directed towards Goldberg.
They were booing Goldberg too, though. I understand most of it was probably hatred towards Lesnar because he was young, just in wrestling. He just lost the title, and now all of a sudden he's leaving to go try to become a Minnesota Viking, which that did not work out at all for him.
Did he wind up winning in Minnesota?
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Did he make it as a Viking? Did he win?
Apparently, he was pretty close to making the team, and he was one of the last cuts, just because he hadn't played, I guess, since like high school, so he was unpolished.
He was only wrestling in college.
He wasn't worth keeping on the roster. But so finally, 5 minutes in, Stone Cold gets in the fight because he's a special guest referee in this match, which ends up being nothing.
Stone Cold
he starts getting him the
Texas Rattlesnake.
Yeah, you want to go up with other ways to describe
There's also a point where the crowd started cheering for Stone Cold, and you could see the looks on Lesnar and Goldberg's face as they realize that they're booing the shit out of the two of them, and Stone Cold's getting all the applause.
So
but anyway, they hate each other.
So now the fact
that third party really comes into play in this match.
No,
well, now that the fact that
not till the end.
They're both leaving, and the crowd's booing them, and now the crowd's rooting for Stone Cold, who's the ref. You could tell they're not going to put on a good match now.
No,
they finally tie up, and when they tie, and why would they tie up? There's no reason. They hate each other. They should be throwing punches at each other. They tie up, and instead of like somebody getting the upper hand, they literally dance around the ring with each other.
It was
untie up, and then go back and do that same spot.
So it's weird. So it's like where one person could have had an advantage, they instead just decide to tie up. And why is he so bike crash?
CJ, have you ever seen an amateur wrestling match?
Yeah, I've seen some pretty amateur matches in my day.
No, I mean like the wrestling I did in high school.
Yeah, a little bit.
Have you ever seen like the two big fat guys in that kind of wrestling where they kind of just hold each other? They grapple and move around because they're both too fat to shoot for the leg, and they're both waiting for the other person to do it. That's kind of how
I have a feeling I know what you're talking about. Two people who are just not ready to go for the kill, so they're going to dance around each other and hope for a mistake from the other.
Yeah, they're both grappling, and they're going back and forth and dancing around the ring, and it's literally the first 5 minutes of the match.
It's terrible. They don't even. I think a total of 4 wrestling moves are done in the match. Because once that gets started, they brawl a little while. That goes to the outside. Goldberg takes a terrible spear to the corner. Doesn't even hit the corner. No, and then they go to the outside. And that's it.
An F5 and 2 spears?
F5, 2 spears, and then a gorilla press slam.
Goldberg goes to give a spear to Lesnar, and Lesnar moves, and Goldberg he's supposed to hit the corner. And then at the end of the match, the exact same thing happens, only Lesnar goes to spear Goldberg. And Goldberg moves, and Lesnar hits this thing.
All right,
and then when he turns around, Goldberg spears him.
And guess what, bud? That's the entirety of the match.
Yeah, that's literally the match. It's awful.
So it's like a high-end Roman Reigns match.
No. Roman Reigns' worst match is 10 million times better than this match.
Okay.
You know I don't like Roman Reigns. Anyway, Adam, you've been very quiet throughout this whole conversation. What is your opinion on the first Goldberg and Brock Lesnar match?
I don't personally think that Lesnar Goldberg one was a bad match. But I think they could have put on a better match. The crowd took them out of it completely from the jump. It was supposed to be big man versus big man. They did big man versus big man things. It wasn't awful. I mean, it took 15 minutes for it to start up, but Stone Cold shouldn't have been the special guest referee because he just called that right down the middle. Stone Cold wore very short homemade jean shorts.
He's like Shawn Michaels referee shorts.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a god awful match. If they could just be strong men and have an actual match without staring at each other for 15 minutes and have a similar but more move-filled match, it'll be a much better match this next time around.
Yeah, anything would be a much better match. Literally anything.
I could agree with you that the crowd took them out of it right away.
I feel like
disagree. They didn't even give the crowd a chance to get into the match.
The crowd was booing as they were walking out.
He booed them and chanted "sellout" before the bell rung.
Yeah, that's not something you want. If I'm hearing that, I'm giving you the biggest half-ass match I can, and I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Especially if it's my last day on the job. They're lucky that Lesnar didn't whip his dick out and then walk out. We'll just leave Madison Square Garden and never come back again.
The crowd might have went absolutely berserk if he whipped his dick out and started getting
speaking from someone that was in the crowd, I did not want to see Brock Lesnar's dick.
It'd be great if Stone Cold stunned his dick. That'd be hilarious.
Does he have to kick him in the scrotum before he does it?
Stone Cold has given a Stone Cold Stunner to a penis before.
What's that penis's name, Paul?
Donald Trump. That penis's name was Donald Trump. But I disagree with you. What do you think the Goldberg-Lesnar 2 match is going to do? You have high hopes for this thing?
I have medium to high hopes. I feel like it's going to be, obviously, Goldberg's going to Suplex City. I feel like they're going to have Lesnar go to Suplex City by Goldberg, or he's just going to spear the fuck out of him. Like, there's gonna be at least, if we're including the jackhammer and the spear both as his finisher, there's going to be more than 10 finishers done in this match. No doubt in my mind.
The jackhammer, the
10
spear,
finishers.
the F5, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of them. I feel like there's gonna be quite a few spears happening.
There's gonna
be spearing Goldberg as well. I think they're both gonna go balls to the wall and try to put on a performance because
I have a feeling it's gonna be terrible.
We're gonna see some color.
I think they're gonna do their goddamn best because
you're gonna have to.
It's a fucking travesty that they did the first time. They need to do something to try to clear that of their names.
So coming from someone that hasn't watched the match, Bud, how do you think?
The next match
What are your expectations for what's going to happen? Because I don't think there's any way they can have Goldberg win. So the outcome's already decided.
I think there's two options here. Is that either we get a straight Suplex City, the same match we've gotten from Lesnar for the last 2.5 years now, where he just dominates and he is an unbeatable force, or we get a Goldberg who dominates Lesnar for 2/3 of the match, and then we go back into Suplex City and he wins the match.
But wouldn't that retroactively make Orton and Cena and all those guys look like shit?
I would.
Well,
not
you have to put Goldberg in a situation where you can use him again.
Why? He's done. You don't have to use Goldberg ever again.
My understanding of the match is this is more or less a trial for WrestleMania.
For what? Who would Goldberg fight for WrestleMania?
Lesnar again. Lesnar 2.
They're going to go 3 times on this? The first one was already a goddamn
I wouldn't be surprised if they go 3. If they let Lesnar win this one and then they go to a third match. Maybe not WrestleMania, maybe Royal Rumble.
But
my point here is if Goldberg
100%.
comes back for one match just to lose, it makes no sense to me. So if he's losing to Lesnar, he better have another match coming up because why would you come out of retirement and do one match?
The Lesnar match at WrestleMania is going to be Shane McMahon. I'm pretty sure that's already penciled in.
I think they're going to go for that too. I hope not.
Do you guys
feel like that's a waste.
Thank you for listening to this very special broadcast of Kayfabe Only Brother. Be sure to catch our regular scheduled episode later this week. And as usual, I'm the Grizz. Good night, good evening, and goodbye.